Hold up. Are they not taking the medallion? Are they not going to take the jump medallion? It's kind of funny to me that this medallion's just sat here the whole time. This is like 3 zones later. Not only have they not taken it, but not a single team has come past and thought, you know what? We're going to pick that up. We're going to cook that. Yeah. So many heals have already. He's taking it. He's taken the medallion. Okay. Pollo, Ajerss, and Acorn have won the 2nd Division Cup in the lead up to the FNCS Global Championships. Now, I've already done a video covering Queasy, who won EU, and I've gone through the EU leaderboard in that video, which I'll link at the end of this video if you're interested in EU. But for this, I want to see how Pollo, Ajerss, and Acorn were playing. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to cover the overall leaderboard and see how the NA teams are playing out, how they're looking going into the Global Championships. Now, as we know, they already land at Demon's Debris, uncontested in this tournament, which they were able to win. A lot of the early game are not going to be that interesting, just getting the balls, getting the coin. And after doing so, it is Ajerss who's going to take the AR. So he's the one that's going to have the most output. Hold up. Are they not taking the medallion? Are they not going to take the jump medallion? Oh my god, guys, you know what this means? Do you know what short is about to drop on the channel? I'm gonna add it to the list though. Not set up for a surge base whatsoever, but they're instantly, and I mean instantly, just launch padding straight onto a team who's on their east. Easy elimination onto Juice FV. I'm not sure who that is. I don't know if he's a player who these guys have been keying the entire tournament or not. Again, didn't watch any at the time, so I don't know the full context of this game quite yet. Not setting up for a surge race. Now, if this is globals, I'm sure they would set up for a surge race completely. In this game, not quite doing so yet. They did fly right over Merops, which is there, which is funny. They should be A rank. I think they'll probably end up going for the bunker, but we will see. Potentially going up for a sneak. It seems like they've been spotted, though. They have been spotted. I wonder if they're just going to take a fair 3v3. Does seem like that is the case. Are we going to see a bit of Pollo piece coming out here? Ooh, nice shot there. Beautiful wall take straight into the box. Is he going to get the elim straight away? 100 damage as well. Make the Pollo output right now is going kind of crazy. Very risky just to run straight into that place. I do find it interesting that they use the slurp juice so much, because from watching, or so early into the game, because when we were watching through the Queasy match, they were holding a lot of their slurp juice until the very, very end, as late as possible. So to invest a slurp this early into this fight is pretty interesting. I guess they do have 3, so maybe it's fine. Just use one of them and then you can split the other 2s. Unsure. End up disengaging from that fight, and it seems like Juice has been rebooted back into Demon's Debris. Is this just a duo? I don't know if this guy's like DC'd or something. Either way, they've not got the card whatsoever. Seems like they heard the reboot there and they've just keyed straight over. They left that other fight that they were in before. Let me see. Nice shot onto... Ooh, a beautiful piece onto Juice there on the left hand. Now they're chasing down Merops. It's just going to be a 3v1. Surely super free fight. Ooh, the Ajerss piece going crazy. Pollo goes around to the back to make sure he can't escape out. Cone? No, doesn't even bother. Nice. Okay. So 3 free elims off the rip already. That is a reasonable amount of surge, but to be honest, like they quick deaded those guys so quick. I highly doubt that they actually have that much damage yet. Let me actually check. Yeah, they basically have 900 damage, which is still pretty good in terms of the overall leaderboard. It's not bad. But again, you know, in comparison to some of the traders up here, they're not that high on the leaderboard. It's kind of funny to me that this medallion's just sat here the whole time. This is like 3 zones later. Not only have they not taken it, but not a single team has come past and thought, you know what, we're going to pick that up. We're going to cook that, yeah. All right, we've got another fight and another scrap that they're getting into. So they are W King. Very similar to Peterbot's team last week as well. Peterbot's team last week didn't really trade much at all. And they essentially, well, I mean, in the one game I watched, and they essentially just double keyed the entire thing. Similar thing here. I mean, they're not really committing to this fight. This is what we call a soft fight. Get close, get a bunch of damage, but not over commit, so that if you can disengage, you need to. That was like, you know, what, 100 damage or something like there. Very good. Push threats teams away, but they haven't really sat on a position to really do anything yet. Also, they keep doing this crash pad, where rather than we saw before, obviously, I was mentioning in Queasy video, if you watch that, they do a lot of the cone edits. Here, there's a floor on their head intentionally bouncing off, which fires you a lot further forward. So it doesn't send you quite as high, but with the fizz, you still get that like very much so pushed forward momentum. And the one good thing about these drop spots is that there's so many heals. He's taking it! He's taken the medallion. Okay. Pollo picks it up 3 zones later. There you go. Okay. I guess actually, you know what's interesting is that it doesn't really matter that much. I was about to say, by the way, I got totally sidetracked there. What I was about to mention was that in the mythic POIs here, there's so many additional heals that are left over. So if you're going to soft fight like they just did there, you can always rotate back into one of these POIs and grab the additional heals. So like even if you get, you know, a little weak, it doesn't really matter that much. And if you really need heals, I guess you can still use the geysers to get like another 30 heal off of that as well. So soft fighting around areas that are the I think POIs this season seems relatively strong. Yes, but Pollo took the medallion. So he took the medallion. I guess it doesn't really matter so much. So earlier when they're looking to take those soft fights, you don't want the medallion because then teams will see you coming. But now, like for example, like they're just shown there, and it's not like a huge surprise that they're just still sitting in this POI. Like no one, there's so many players that are about to get clustered close to them. It doesn't really matter if players can see where they're at or not. So it's kind of quite interesting the fact that they took it early, they didn't take it earlier, and no one really cared. No one else decided to go and grab it whatsoever at all because they were keying them. I guess if another team did pick it up, they could just, that's like a sign that Pollo could then just key them. It's like a free team to go key. I don't know. Either way, it's funny. All right. So I think they hear tags or a fight behind them here. They're only like 500 above surge or 400 above surge, which actually is not that much. The fizz pad comes out now. Ooh, we've got to be more aware than this. Ooh, do we get the piece? Oh my God, the Ajerss piece goes crazy. No way. Okay. That was absolutely, I was going to say the word delicious. I don't know if I've ever used that word before. I don't think I'm going to use that word in this context whatsoever. Let me see that again. All right, the crash pad comes out. I think they do spot it. Acorn hits the absolute minimum. They piece up nicely. Ajerss immediately goes to the left. Beautiful wall grab. The cone's in. The side walls are in. Experiment is sniffing. He's sniffing. Lovely. And then they get that elim, and then the full damage onto the body as well. So now they're 700 above. Now they did pull a relatively lucky 6th zone here. As you see, they didn't have to rotate whatsoever. This is where they got that, just got that previous elim. However, they have a single crash pad. And what? 1 fizz, 2 fizz, 3 fizz. So basically, it's going to be a fizz endgame entirely. So I want to see how they play this out with 1 crash pad. Maybe they get a refresh. I'm not sure, but we'll see. I think I want to point out is this positioning is actually so good, right? Look at the vision they have over this edge, right? Like what? The edge of the zone, if I want to draw it, is like here or something like that. So, ooh, where's it? Where's that going? There. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So all these teams are going to still have to rotate in. This guy's going to have to rotate in. There's teams who are like back here somewhere who are off screen who come in. And if the crash pad, which you kind of just missed Diego Plays do there because I was just watching it to see. Free beams. So this kind of elevated 6th zone position when everyone's just going to crash pad in should lead them to get a bunch of tags and maybe some elims too. I do like though, one thing, Pollo keeps looking up straight into the sky. I don't know if he's looking for people who are using fizz pads or if he's just looking for people who are potentially going to crash pad straight on their head. I don't think they'd be able to crash pad up at this distance anyway, unless they're relatively closer. I guess they're maybe just looking for padders. Yeah, there you go. Someone's flying through the sky. One hit shot. There you go. Free elim as well. Another thing there. I don't know how loud this will be in the audio, but a crash pad sound went off. And as soon as that crash pad sound went off, they built over the top of their heads to cover themselves because they don't know if someone's just going to jump straight on top of them. Ooh, the triple pump drop down. Unfortunately, no one's there. That is their own old loot that they've ended up jumping down to. But all 3 of them dropped down with their pumps out at the same time. And it was wood and a single floor, so they all fell straight in. Well, we got another refresh here that I missed. That's 1 more crash pad. So they have 2 crash pads basically going into the end game. And I imagine they'll probably use 1 here. Similar setup. If you don't watch the Queasy video, basically edit your cone, fizz, sprint, jump into it. You don't go that high, so you're not flying straight into the sky. And then they slide in. Great little space claimed on low ground here just to make sure they don't get focused. All right, they have pulled the entire max distance zone. This is some great awareness from Acorn. So great knowledge. This is a B crate. I'm trying to draw. This is a B level crate. Now, if you know what each crate drops, you will know that this is actually really important for them. When I've been talking about they have no crash pads, B crates drop crash pads. 3 guaranteed. So someone's just ranked up here. It won't be them because they're already A rank from killing the boss or whatever. They've managed to find 3 additional crash pads just from that. So now they have 4 to set themselves up. Now they don't have to just use a single crash pad on this rotate. They can use like 1 or 2 or then have some more for the end game still. So really, really good awareness to spot that crate next to them because that potentially could win them this game. Yeah, what's actually funny is that if a B rank crate drops, obviously you get the 100% crash pads. My face cam might be in the way. Sorry. There we go. But if an A rank drops, usually in ranked, well, not ranked anymore because ranked now has the competitive list, but in pubs, you usually get shockwaves. But in tournaments, you know, shockwaves aren't in. So you actually get no mobility. So technically, the ideal way to rank up, if you actually wanted, would be to try and get B rank, as long as you weren't going for a bunker or something like that. Later into the game, so if you use some crash pads, you get the B rank, then you manage to grab the crash pads later. Now, I don't think any player is actually doing that, like planning to get this later, but it's kind of interesting. That's like the best mobility you get, and you get it like slightly earlier on. All right, good awareness from Acorn there. Very similar. Notice how many times, I said this earlier about Pollo, every single time they do something, they keep looking up into the sky. There must be someone in here who's cooking up some crazy like launch pad strats for globals, and they're obviously aware of it. They keep looking up. Nice little height claim here too again. Crash pad in the front side. Oh, what did they been building here? This was really cool. So just double ramps up, connect all the way up to. Very similar. A lot of the height teams who are winning games basically just claim it this early. I've not seen any team do like a really sick crash pad height take yet. But similar to Queasy on NA, on EU, sorry, that we watched in the other video, trying to claim a lot of space to make sure players have less chance to crash pad up. The amount that they're connected here, it would be very surprising if they got chopped this early. So good height hold to start with. Let's see how they end up holding this. Generally, the way it seems to be, Acorn at the front, Ajerss and Pollo were at the back. That's the way it looked to start with. I want to see if that continues. A nice little connect also here to make sure they're connected in 2 different points, even though they've actually just been chopped. Yeah, so it seems like Acorn, tarpon head, Ajerss, Pollo, stay in the backside, get some sprays, make sure they don't get flanked. Nice, good kill under shadow. Oh, beautiful aim from Pollo. I think that was a straight 200-0 on Dabuga there. All 3 of them are fragging off up here. AR him and having a ton of ammo, so good. Nice awareness there from Acorn. If you're tarping like him, the one thing you always need to be doing is checking where zone's going and see where you're looking for. You can get too caught up in like spraying teams down below. But him scouting ahead, if zone pulls that direction, they know they can already go somewhere. Also, if you notice on the map here, notice on the map. I don't know if that was that the mark? I'm not sure if this was the mark that he just put there, but I'll add this. Anyway, they, in the black markets, sell medkits for, I want to say 50 gold each. I could be wrong. Don't count me on the gold number. I think it's 50 gold each. So, say if they got down to a heal off and they're on height, and this was within range of them, they can crash pad towards this, chug splash, med mist, whatever it is, and buy medkits to heal off for longer to guarantee the win. Or, if the team is relatively close, say you're like a top, I don't know, top 3 or 4, maybe even top 5, and you've just got nothing, you're left as a solo, you can crash pad towards these black markets. If you have the gold, still buy more medkits to supply the heal off for longer. So you can actually end up like enhancing your own heal off, either to win the game, or if you're going from like a top 5 to a top 2, just by going near one of these black markets. So awareness of like what's around you is really, really important. And as you notice, the 11th zone does actually pull straight towards this. Nice. Acorn's fizzing, so he can build straight up, connect himself in. Very, very nice. So they're now connected in 2 places, so they can't get chopped out for the backside. Another super basic of height. I've mentioned this a few times. Always putting like a floor down like this. They've done it a few times. You can see one more over here. You can see a little bit of the wood ones over here, just to give yourself the angle of that right hand peak to spray down onto. All right, ammo split. I think the boys are going down. Pollo's dropping at the backside. A little bit of white's tank from him. Ajerss also going down. Front side, try and block off Craze, who seems to be refarming in the end game, it would seem like. Pollo's back up. Maybe he was just grabbing a bunch of loot, some mats or something. I'm not entirely sure. I missed that. They don't have enough to still win the game, but they don't have any heal-off potential. I don't think like playing fully for heal-off makes a lot of sense. And now with a 3v3 between Clix's team and his team. Pollo jumps up. Let's see if anyone gets a little spicy here. Yomzo's already cracked. He's down weak. Claiming space in front. Nice shot, but he gets dropped straight into the box. Ajerss with the milk. What's Pollo going to do? It's now the 3v2. Good shot from Pollo. 37. That's too weak. Down in the side of Storm. Lovely. It's worth tanking a little bit of white HP to end up going for that. Doesn't commit straight into the box yet. He does have the jump coin. So the jump coin, remember, he didn't take that earlier. He could have accidentally fallen straight into the box. All right, seems like Pollo's potentially going to play heal off, or is he taking the chug splash just to go and frag with? I doubt he's going to try and play heal off, because how would he? Click Higgs with a not the best play I've ever seen. Let's put it that way. Acorn flies straight up in the sky. Make sure he can't get jumped on. Yomzo super weak now. Server lag's probably going to ruin this for us. It is indeed. They get a nice win. Really nice. 16 elimination win. That was kind of nuts. Now, another thing I want to point out here is that in game number 5, which is the one I'm currently watching here, notice how as they are jumping for their drop spot, look who is also coming to land on them. That is Peterbot's team. It seems like he's the only one that's just jumped at this exact time. But notice what they actually do here. They turn around, noticing they're getting contested at their drop spot, and just fly all the way back to OXR. Now, OXR is obviously where Peterbot's team was landing before. And they said, you know what? We're just going to swap drop spots instead. We notice you're trying to come con us. We're just out of here. Now, I would love to say it worked out nicely for them. They did absolutely, I don't want to say milk, but they didn't do good this game whatsoever. And Peterbot's team did drop a 26 elim win, which is kind of insane in itself. I'm not going to go through that game because I already went through Peterbot's team last week, so I don't want to just make every single week a Peterbot. Interestingly, they had the awareness the other team was trying to glide on them, and then they just also switched the drop slots up. Pretty cool. All right, let's look at the globals teams. Last week, the globals teams were all pretty much in the top 10, and this is a similar week as well for the NA leaderboard. Ajerss team, Ritual's team and Peter Ball's team in second. King and FaZe are also looking good. That's fourth. That's 2 weeks they've done really well. So I would say this is the best a Brazilian team, at least, does look coming into the global championship. So these could genuinely actually do pretty well. Canada's team also doing good, roughly where they were on the leaderboard too. Click's team in 7th. Who else was a global team? I'm sure I will miss one. Muzz's team is a global team, 13th. Not the best. I don't think they had a great last week either, from memory. We got an EU team, Akira's team. Let's go. I know a Minish team is qualified off the dome as well. Anyone else? I could be wrong. May have missed one there too. But a lot of the global teams still also doing well on the respective regions as well. I'm actually quite impressed of FaZer's team. That's cool. Now, if you want to see the EU breakdown, you can click on the video on screen right now. Please like, subscribe. Peace.